Welcome to the Suffer Up Podcast, guys, with Nate and Ryan. We're back in the shop/studio doing a recording today. Welcome. So, if you guys have not listened to us before, we are Suffer Up, where our mission is to encourage and lead others to suffer with a purpose. We try to help others level up in life with an emphasis on spiritual, mental, and physical well-being. So, this is your first time. Greetings. Welcome. Aloha. Ryan just got back from Hawaii.
I did.
Hawaii. How do they say it over there?
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
The
Okay.
W sounds a lot like a V.
Okay. He just got back from Hawaii. I got back from Orlando, the land of the mousetrap.
Spend
And
all your money on cheese.
spent all my money on, the mouse. So
Yeah.
it was a good time. Kids loved it. So we're back in the swing of things here. Trying to stay cool. If you are in a place that is geographically super hot, we understand. So thank you to all the HVAC technicians out there that keep us cool.
Thank you.
Yes. So anyway, thanks again for tuning in, guys. Before we get started, we want to give a very special thank you and shout out to our supporters and sponsors. 55 Miles Anti-Chafing Lubricant and Blister Blocker. It works, it's strong, and it stands up to the miles. If you struggle with chafing or blisters, do yourself a favor. Go over to 55miles.com or scroll down below what you're listening to right now, and there'll be a hyperlink. I made it easy for you. And use discount code SUFFERUP to receive a discount at checkout. You will not be disappointed. All organic ingredients. Our second supporter of the channel, not in any sort of preference order, is Muck Enders. Muck Enders Wipes makes a heavy-duty towelette that is safe for your skin. We use them on our trail runs as well as working in the shop, and use them on the fire truck as well, cleaning up after a good hot fire, getting those chemicals off you. So if you would like to get a pair of Muck Enders that are tough and they stop the muck, go down to the link in the description and go to muckenders.com and get you some wipes from Muck Enders. Use discount code SUFFERUP to receive a discount there as well. And last but not least, our very first supporter of the channel, Soft Socks, makes a compression fitting toe sock that hugs your foot in all the right places, helps prevent blisters, and keeps your feet safe during those long days, either working on your feet or running on the trail or road. Whatever your adventure is, Soft Socks is there to take care of your feet. Go to softsocks.com, use discount code SUFFER10 to receive 10% off at checkout. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. We hope you enjoy this episode.
Enough said.
Enough said.
In the
There we
words of Chad Wright.
Yeah. Being patient in the process, strengthening your mind, body, and spirit. For those of you who've listened, mind, body, and spirit, or physical, mental, and spiritual, are our three main pillars here at Suffer Up, and we try to embody those, make sure that everything we do encompasses all three of those pillars. So today we're going to talk about just being what patience looks like in the process of growth, gain, whether financial, spiritual gain, spiritual strength, and just how to be patient in whatever process you're in. This topic, real quick, before we dive into this topic kind of came to me. I brought it to Ryan as hey, we should talk about this. I am so thankful and blessed. I have had I would say about five different people over the last 2 weeks reach out to me and ask me questions on they're already started the process, but they're trying to get into running, trying to get into shape, trying to get better at this, trying to get better at that. And I even had one guy reach out to me who's struggling with his faith, old friend of mine. And the whole underlying theme was just patience. Everybody expects life transformation things to happen, whether in the mirror or on the scale, or in their life instantly. And I got news for you. None of it is instant. So that's why we're going to talk about it and just kind of adapting your mind to understand what patience looks like.
Yeah. I want to start us off with a Bible verse. The Bible has a lot to say about patience, but specifically these verses go towards exactly what you're saying, being patient in the process. So James 1, verse 2 through 4 says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. That word perseverance is essentially what we're talking about today, being patient in the process. You know that the work is being done. You just have a desire for it to be done faster, a desire for it to be done more completely, a desire for things to happen on your time, not God's time. So that perseverance is what we lack and what we need to remember to have as we go through the process.
That's it.
You got to remember that growth is earned slowly, but revealed suddenly. People often think they're making progress, but they're actually laying the foundation that they can't see yet. I'm sorry, people often think they aren't making progress, but they're just laying the foundation that they can't see yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the KJV, King James Version, the word perseverance I'm not sure what version that was, but NIV, patience is actually the word used in the King James. Yep. So very, very, very similar meaning there. But
patience and perseverance.
Yeah, your faith, the trying and testing of your faith worketh patience. But patience have a perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing.
I love reading different translations because you get to see the different word choices that they use. And to me, patience is that thing that, like what we tend to think of patience as like something you have or you don't have. We don't really, patience to me isn't like an action word. Like you're not getting patience. You are either patient or you're not patient or you're impatient.
Mm-hmm.
Perseverance, I like that word in this case better because it's like persevering. You are currently in the act of persevering. And that is what will inevitably you'll look back and be like, oh, I was being patient because I was persevering. Like I was pushing through this, even though I didn't feel like I was gaining anything or growing. And that is what patience looks like.
Yep, that's true.
So first thing we want to talk about with being patient in the process is that you need to trust your training before you need it. Like I said, growth is earned slowly, but it's revealed suddenly. So you go through your training, you train, and when you need it, you need it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to trust the training before you need it in order to have it when you need it.
Right.
I'm sure we both have 100 examples of this in our careers, our previous careers.
I mean, we've said it before, the whole crawl, walk, run concept too, of you start as a baby and you grow up to be running and you're no longer crawling. So you crawl, you walk, you run. And so trusting the process, whatever that may be, and your patience. So just like perfect examples, when we have a new fire cadet recruit, whatever, we're teaching them how to put their gear on. And that is like a big deal. It's really important. But they struggle with it. They have a time restraint. They gotta put their gear on. Well, then once they know how to do that, then now we can actually begin with the phases. So whatever you're at, like talking physically, applying that, if you're, trying to get into better shape, I have a 30-day challenge that I've given to all these guys that I alluded to. And the challenge is wake up before everybody else in your house wakes up. If you don't have anybody else in your house, wake up an hour before you normally do and move for 30 minutes and read something for 10 minutes and then eat when you're done with your 30 minutes. And that's the challenge. And so then I said, after the end of the 30 days, come back and talk to me and then we'll see how you did. That's like extremely foundational.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a crawl process, because if you can't build a daily habit and be patient with the process throughout those 30 days, you have not laid any groundwork or foundation. Because it's frustrating for people that are like, well, but I want to go lift weights. Or I'm like, no, you're not going to do anything except walk or run for 30 minutes every day for 30 days.
It feels repetitive and it's not exciting. It's not glamorous.
Right.
I mean, we just kind of briefly talked about it when we were chatting before the show that, like, my job in my run plan for today is to go out and run slow.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I don't want to do that. Or my job is to get on the treadmill and like power hike basically at a steep angle to train for what we're training for. And it's like that's not glamorous. That's not sexy. Nobody wants to do those slow, boring workouts, but it's those that will allow you to persevere and be patient to get to the finish line that you want to get to.
Yeah.
When I was in rescue swimmer school, one of the first things that they have us doing in training is underwaters. So we'll swim from one side of the pool to the other side of the pool completely underwater.
50 meters, right? Full?
25, so just
25,
down.
okay.
Yeah, not down and back, just down. And we've got fins on and stuff, and like it's completely doable. It's just a matter of we're going to do one, and then we're going to get a breath, and then they're going to blow the whistle, and you're going to do another one. And we would do those repeatedly. So we do a combination of the underwaters, and then we did this drill called mask clearing, where they throw your mask at the bottom of the pool, and you have to dive down and go get it and clear it of the water that's in the mask underwater. So you use your air in your nose and kind of like look up and break the seal on the mask, blow your air in there to get the water out, and then you can see. So it sounds stupid, like you're never going to drop your mask in the ocean, which is true because your gear's tied off. But the chances of your seal getting broken around your mask and water getting in there are pretty good. And I mean, when you're jumping out of a helicopter, like there's a lot of moving parts and water gets into places. So knowing how to clear that is important. So we would do a combination of those and the underwaters. And all of us think, oh, this is stupid. Like they're just trying to beat us up. Well, years later down the road, when you're doing a scenario or actually like getting to save somebody, if there's a combative survivor, our procedure is to, there's multiple procedures, like different options. But one of the options is that you can swim under the person, under the water, and pop up behind them and grab them and like get control of them so that they'll stop panicking and stop being combative. You can't do that if you're not comfortable under the water. That comfort was built years prior in training doing those underwaters. And if when you're coming up to grab these people, that's a physical thing. If your mask gets jostled and the seal gets broken and water gets in there, well, now you've got to do a mask clearing. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to see.
Yeah.
So again, that foundation was laid long before you ever had to use it, but you didn't see the point until you had to use it.
Yeah.
And so you don't realize what you have been building and what you need until you need it. But when the time comes, you will inevitably fall back on your training and you'll be thankful that you had it.
Yeah, it's true. And even small, little, tiny habits in your training that should be concrete. And there's a reason, like you said, procedures and a reason why we do certain things at certain times to be able to build that muscle memory, as well as just build pathway routines in your brain on what's normal and what should be done right. And same, conversely, bad habits can then create bad results.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't stand the saying, practice makes perfect. No, perfect practice makes perfect. But you could do something wrong 100,000 times and then be really good at doing it the wrong way. I don't really care for that. Practice makes perfect. Like, yeah, but perfect practice makes perfect. And so also something too that I picked up over the years is when you're trying to be better at something, whatever that is, and you're being patient in the process. So like my daughter right now, she wants to be a cheerleader. And so Lauren was a cheerleader. And so throwing her in the air, like we're doing that. And we did it at the pool on vacation. And we got to where I can throw her, but trying to catch her feet because her coordination isn't the best. I can get her to throw and then catch her with her feet on my shoulders. Well, she was starting to get tired. And I said, no, you have to end on a good note. So we're going to do one more good one, however many that is. And then we would do like 4, 5, 6. And then on like the 7th one, she did it perfectly. It's like, all right, now we're going to stop. She's like, well, no, I want to do more. I said, no, you're going to end on a good note because that's the last thing your brain remembers. So you can adopt that in whatever you're trying to get better at.
Yeah. We had a similar saying that last one, best one.
Yeah, last one, best one.
Like you make the last one your best one because, like you said, that's what you're going to remember, and it's just a good confidence booster too. Of like you walk away thinking like that was awesome.
Yeah.
Instead of being defeated.
I crushed it. Yeah. Absolutely.
So you got to trust the training.
Yep.
And know that inevitably it will pay off. And we kind of already talked about this, but you need to build that foundation that nobody sees. So all the training, all the hours of work that you've put into whatever it is, people aren't going to see that. Everyone's going to celebrate race day. They're going to celebrate your finish line. Nobody's going to celebrate your Tuesday morning workout, except for maybe one or two friends on Strava who just give you a little thumbs up.
Sure.
Everyone's going to applaud you when you get a promotion at work. Nobody's going to see the years of toilet scrubbing or whatever work you did that led to that point. It's everyone's going to look at a business and be like, wow, your business is so successful, and not realize that you've been in business for 20 years. The first 10, you were living paycheck to paycheck and struggling to make ends meet. And then, finally you had a breakthrough and you were able to start growing the business. And now it's a big thing, but people don't see the day-to-day struggle that comes with this. They don't see that foundation being laid. So it's only up to you. You're the only one that gets to see that and remember that this is going to build later, not right now.
Yeah. Making deposits
in the bank.
In the bank. Yeah, if that's an inside joke. You can go back and listen to one of the episodes. I don't remember which one it was. We talked about the love bank, in your relationship.
But yeah.
So no, that's all really good stuff. So trust the training before you need it. I obviously don't want to go to a house fire and then have to perform at a high level, high intensity, and it being my first time doing it. And I definitely don't want to look back and think I should have trained harder in this area. Now, on the flip side, if you think about, fire service or military operators or whatever you insert, sometimes it's a very dynamic scene. Things can change very quickly. And so understanding that you're building pathways and building habits in every little thing you do each and every day, and the way you respond to those things, you can have a sense of confidence knowing that, okay, I've never done this before. Like, say I've never cut a hurricane window with a K-12 on the end of a 35-foot ladder. I've never done that before.
Half of our listeners have no idea what you just said.
Okay. Well, going up approximately 32 feet up in the air, up against a building that's on fire, and using a rotary saw that's quite heavy to cut a window open with hurricane glass. Never done it before. And so, because I've never done that, but I have confidence because I have done multiple ladder evolutions, a basic skill. I have a reasonably good mechanical aptitude of running equipment, chainsaws, rotary saws, done some construction.
Physically trained to carry that weight.
And I've physically lifted weights. And I have the ability and capacity in my gear to perform at a high level. And I've, done all these things and had these reps. Now I just get to put them together. And so if you're faced with a task that is seems unbearable, just understand that your training prior to was built up of a lot of small building blocks for this moment, even though you might not, you could easily look at the task and be like, I have never done that before. I am way uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, those foundational blocks.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about building a building, those foundational blocks are not what makes up the building on top of it.
Right.
Like they're not the same material, but they're what supports it.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily have to train the exact thing. You just have to train the foundation and know that foundation will support what you'll be required to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
when you get a new job
process.
and you have new responsibilities, you've never done those before, but if you've built the foundation in that career and you understand the way that it works and you understand how to manage people and work with the team and stuff, then when you get those new responsibilities that you've never done before, you're still going to be capable of doing
equipped.
it. Yeah.
You can apply that anywhere, but understanding that it took time to get there, you had to be patient during all those processes of throwing a ladder, learning how to run a saw. Like when I first threw ladders, I was not very good at it. When I first ran saws, I was not very good at it. But understanding now, I'm getting way better at those skills throughout several years, and so now we can advance to higher level skills because of that. Private discipline produces public strength. So the discipline that's done in those hours when people aren't watching and when people aren't paying attention, or I'm just doing it because it's the right thing to do and it's the thing that needs to be done, that will then produce a quality product essentially too.
I like that.
So
private discipline produces public strength. It's cool.
Yeah, and then you're going to end up seeing people, or like people will notice, like, man, you must have been working on that because you like totally nailed that. And then that's your chance to just remain humble and just be like, yeah, I've been trying to get better.
Yeah.
And so anyway,
so that public strength is often revealed in like high pressure situations. The pressure reveals the preparation that you've done leading up to that moment. Yeah. Like I was saying with the example of rescue swimmers, and like in a scenario where you have to subdue this combative or a panicked survivor, and the only way to do it is to do it. That pressure of being in that moment is what's actually going to reveal that all that training and that those foundational blocks that you did actually mattered.
Right.
So you need that pressure. Yeah. You need that instigator that's gonna light the fire under you and make you draw on all that past experience and training and actually put it all into action. And people are gonna see the preparation through the results.
Yeah. I hope that plays true for this 100-miler coming up.
I have no doubt that it will.
We'll see. Yeah,
you've definitely been persevering through your training.
Well, I know we talk about running a lot, and for those, please don't tune out yet. This is just a short snippet. I'm going to use it as an example. When people are like, I want to lose weight or I want to get in shape, I'm going to start running. Running is like a perfect example of what patience looks like, because if somebody used to be a runner or ran in high school and then they get back into it like myself, it takes a long time to build legs that can run without getting injured. Like it just takes so much time. And so somebody that's getting into running that maybe had a physical job, I would say don't run any more than 10 miles a week and try to spread those 10 miles over at least 3 days. And don't overdo it, and just do that and walk, ruck, do other things, lift weights, but just enjoy the process, because the process is part of the fun and the growth. And so if you can just start there and then like, okay, next week I'm going to do 11 miles. Then the next week I'm going to do 12, but being consistent and working through those miles, then you'll be able, before you know it, you'll be doing 50, 60 miles a week if you decide to continue to run. But it took all that time of constantly showing up every single day, every single morning, and doing the thing to then get to where you're at right now. And then you get to kind of relish in that. But there's no ceiling. There shouldn't be a ceiling. Like, okay, what's next as far as, this part of my journey, and just trying to be better, the whole 1% better every day.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, just anyway, sorry, you were going to say something.
No, that's great. And that leads to a good question I want to ask our listeners, not necessarily you, but like listeners, what are you building today that tomorrow's pressure will reveal? What are you working at getting 1% better at?
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a lot of things. You're not trying to be the best at one specific thing every single day. We're not all Olympians, we're not going to be the best in the world at one thing. But if we can get 1% better at a handful of things every day, man, that's going to make some major changes in our lives, in our communities, in our families, over the long run.
Yeah. Yeah, life is an endurance sport. It's not a sprint.
Amen to that.
And yeah, just the constant perseverance in lieu of what you're talking about there. It just everything takes time.
Yeah. Why do you think that? Why do you think our culture I guess just wants everything now. I mean, we talk about like the hustle culture and the mindset of needing things now. It's just why is that? Is that something ingrained in our DNA? Is that something like that we've curated here in the American lifestyle?
No, I think that's a really good point. I don't think that it's in our DNA. I don't think that it's natural at all. We live in a society where we're completely overstimulated. We're constantly having to go, 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 go. That is not how God designed it. I think that is when sin entered the world. That's when we started having to seek other things to occupy us. I mean, in a perfect world before sin entered it, it was time working the gardens, working with our hands, and being just present and worshiping God, and just being, surviving, but being and knowing that He's going to produce everything. Well, then sin entered the world, everything changed. So,
Yeah.
to answer your question, I really think that it's not normal for us to have that go, go, go mindset. I don't think it's natural, I should say, but I do think it's healthy to be pursuing and refining yourself each and every day through that process, as long as it's done, as long as you're doing that and not just go, go, go for chasing the next best thing.
Yeah.
I think that as long as you're doing it in a way that's refining, making you a better dad, husband, follower of God,
Yeah.
that's where I think that it becomes more beneficial.
I think the key differentiator there is going to be that you let God set the pace.
Yeah.
So our culture says do things faster, get more.
Mm-hmm.
You want it now, not later. That's opposite of how God works most of the time. God normally says, wait, grow more before you get more.
Yeah.
Trust me. You don't need it now. Like trust me and my timing.
Yeah.
And the same, like we see that going back to running, like you said, running is a great metaphor for all this. You see this in running. Like if you go out too fast in a long distance race,
You're going to bonk.
you're going to run out of energy
Mhm.
and you're going to fall flat on your face and you'd be lucky if you finish.
Yep.
You're going to pay for that later. In business, you grow too quickly. Too many people take on too much responsibility and too much debt or whatever it is so fast in business, and they don't have the foundation laid, and the whole business collapses.
Yep.
I mean, in the fire department, you've probably seen this too. Like if
Yeah.
you just you rushed into the fire, you get to a burning building and you rush in without assessing the scene,
Mistakes happen.
you're going to miss something.
Oh,
Mistakes are going to happen. I mean,
Yep.
it can be catastrophic.
Yeah.
People can get hurt. So this is where we let God set the pace, and we understand that God is rarely ever in a hurry,
Mm-hmm.
but He's never late.
Yeah. That's so true. Yeah. Anytime you get in a hurry, or I'll just say whenever Nate gets in a hurry, that's when I make mistakes.
Yeah.
I make mistakes when I'm just going slow too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm perfect at all, but I definitely am more prone to mistakes because I'm rushing in my brain. Dr. Grossman talks about it a lot too. Like as soon as the correlation between heart rate and being able to control your heart rate to be able to think clearly, and you actually reach a point where your heart rate gets so high that your cognitive ability decreases. Like drastically.
Wow.
Like it's a lot. It's called condition black. Your vision changes. You can't hear.
You get so worked up, you get stupid.
Yeah.
Literally.
You can get worked up so much that you crap your pants.
Wow.
Yeah. So with all that said, slowing down, being patient, and working through whatever it is that's in front of you is what's gonna.
We had a saying in the Navy. I'm sure it's a saying in other places, but slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
Yep. 100%.
And that directly applies to what we're talking about as far as slow down.
Mm-hmm.
The fastest way is not necessarily the best way.
Right.
Because it needs to be done right.
Yeah, patiently.
And you need to, that all ties back in. Like we need to grow into our responsibilities, grow into the next step, whether it be in business, in faith, in running, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You need to grow into that and not just dive into it.
Yeah, it's true.
There are times when God will call you to dive into something, like maybe you're supposed to go be a missionary in another country, and He's just saying, quit your job and trust me, I
Mhm.
got you. But there are so many, I would dare say more times in our lives where God's like, just hold on,
Not yet.
hold on,
Yeah.
wait a second.
Yeah.
I'm working.
Wait a minute.
We're building it.
Wait a minute, Freddie.
And that is such a hard thing for us to hear and to obey, I guess
Yeah.
would be the right way of putting it. Like, to let God set the pace is sometimes super hard. That's one of my big struggles is I ask for something and I expect an answer right now. Like, well,
Yeah.
what's taking you so long? You're God. You're in
Yeah.
charge of everything. You can't give me an answer? You can,
Yeah.
but it's not time yet.
Looking back, where was God preparing you long before you realized it?
I mean, my entire life. Like when I started swimming competitively on the swim team in 5th grade, that inevitably led me to, swimming all through middle school, high school, and then being a rescue swimmer, and like that definitely prepared me
Mhm.
better for that. But I mean, He's been preparing me from childhood and like growing up in a Christian home and being blessed in those ways, preparing me so that I could be a good father and husband and lead my household, and inevitably to this point where I can help lead others
Mhm.
and help others grow spiritually. I mean, look around at every facet of my life and you'll see a way that God was preparing me long ago for where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
In business, I mean, it's everywhere. And you don't realize it often until you look back. So it's important to stop sometimes and look back so that you can remember that, like, I need to have patience in the progress moving forward, because in 30 years, I'm going to look back again and see all the stuff God was doing right now at this time
Yeah.
that grew me to wherever I'm at then.
Yep.
It's just hard to see it in the moment, but it's there.
Yeah. The underlying tone there with what you just said, I think if you're listening to this and you're like, man, we're kind of on like a little bit, how do I put this? We're on a little bit of kind of a high because like Suffer Up and everything has meant a lot to us, and we've been able to really grow a lot personally, but also watched other people grow along the way. And the opportunities that we've had have definitely really been amazing, and it's definitely a God thing. But prior to the inception of Suffer Up, we both kind of had our own missions, and then everything kind of aligned, and then boom, this happened. But God was preparing. So if you're in a season where you're like, man, I just don't feel like I have any purpose, I don't feel like I have any mission at all, like I just feel stale or stagnant, like just take a moment, reflect back, but then also look at what are you doing right now that will possibly set you up for success in the future. Maybe the job you're at right now, you're just not happy with it. Maybe you're just not happy where you're at with your stage of life. Maybe you're not married yet and you haven't found a wife or a husband, whatever. Insert whatever that you're not content with. Just know that like the season you're in right now, you'll probably look back and be like, man, those were some good times. I learned a lot. Yeah. So just be aware of where you're at in life right now, and don't necessarily like look ahead, but kind of think ahead and just be like, God's preparing me for something.
Yeah.
Just be teachable and humble yourself, because eventually something will happen. And as long as you allow God into that,
yeah,
I think
talk
He'll bless
with God.
Yeah.
I mean, let Him set the pace, but there's nothing wrong with asking for things.
Yeah.
You just have to be willing to wait.
Yeah.
I mean, you can ask to be the president of the United States, but it's probably not going to happen tomorrow.
Right.
Like, you have to wait and let God work in your life and in the lives of those around you. I actually have a really personal connection with this right now, because a friend of mine is struggling with some things at the moment, his marriage primarily, but something that I've recommended to him a lot through this process is that he's got things he needs to work on himself. He needs to get right with God in a few ways and kind of lean into his spiritual side of things. And he's too focused on trying to save his marriage. And I flat out told him, I said, you can't save your marriage. It's not up to you. It's up to God. And the only way to let God save your marriage is to give it up to God. You got to stop trying to fix the problems, give him that problem, and give him yourself and say, God, fix me and fix my marriage.
Yeah.
You got to give it up to him and let him do it in his time, because you can't just, if you've been a jerk for 5 years of your marriage and then you get saved and you think that everything's just going to magically get better because you're going to act better. Your wife's probably seen you act really nice for a week, 2 weeks, a month at a time before, and then you've been a jerk again. Like, you're going to mess up in the future too.
Yeah.
And you can't change somebody's heart. So the only way to change your marriage is to let God take it.
Yeah.
God can change your wife's heart and let her see the changes happening in you. And God can change your heart to actually be that change, to do the different things than you've been doing before. So that's been prevalent in my life as of lately. And I also have to let God set the pace in that, because I want to help my friend.
Yeah.
I want to see his life changed for the better. And like, as men, we want to fix things. So I'm like giving him advice and trying to help. And like, I want him to go to different men's groups and things like that. But again, it's not even up to me. I got to give it up to God and say, God, please take over this situation and fix it in your time, and just use me to support and influence that however you want.
Yeah.
That's incredibly difficult to do.
Very, very.
So yeah, we gotta trust the process, trust the training, and build that foundation, even though nobody sees it until the pressure's on.
Yeah.
And
then go ahead.
And let God set the pace.
Yeah.
Of the entire progress.
And quit quitting.
Quit quitting.
Yeah.
Bunch of quitters.
People quit too early.
No kidding.
They like start something and then they kind of like just fizzles out and they didn't get anywhere with it. Like, if you fizzle out after accomplishing something, cool, but like, don't tell me you did 3 days of it and then just don't quit. So quit quitting.
Yeah. Why do people quit the process?
It's hard.
Can't see the light at the end of the tunnel?
Yeah. They don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds really like unintelligent for me to say. They don't want to do it, but no, it's true. Like,
that's the cut and dry fact.
It's uncomfortable. They don't want to wake up early. I don't have enough time. That's nonsense. You have enough time. Get up earlier. You're talking to somebody who has an extremely busy life, and I still find time to do stuff. So I'd encourage you, just get up earlier.
Get off the old Facebooks.
Yeah.
Go to bed early.
There's time for that. Build it out in your day when you can get in the scroll hole for a few minutes. Okay, that's cool. But the doom book. But yeah, like, just, I don't know, man. That's why I'm like a big fan, and I tell everybody this that talks to me about this kind of stuff. I'm like, I tell you what, man, I'd love to help you, but you don't have any. I just tell them, like, you don't have any discipline. There's no discipline in your day even. You just kind of float through your day. And so then I tell them, okay, you got to build discipline and patience within your day. And so this is how you do it. Start with this. And I do that 30-day challenge I started the episode with. And then I said, once you do 30 consecutive days of that, come back and talk to me, and then we'll go from there. And nobody's done the 30. Nobody's finished full 30 days. Maybe the 30 days is too hard. I don't know. But why do people quit? It's because they don't know how. They haven't ever really had to be disciplined in any facet of their life.
Yeah.
Just think about like every other job. The only thing that you're ever really disciplined with is showing up to work on time. And probably 80% of the jobs now, you can show up late and it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
So if you can't show up to work on time every single day, then what do you, like, how do I expect you to do all this other stuff? You can't even show up to work on time. So Anyway, I get a little passionate about that concept of just like discipline. I'm sorry, but it's, well, not sorry. I'm not sorry, but it's just set up small wins and victories throughout your day and just be patient with the process. And then once you can wake up on time, then do this. Okay, now I can, walk for 30 minutes every day in the morning. Okay, cool. Now we're going to do that and we're going to do this. We're going to read for 10 minutes. And then boom, now you have habits that win. And it just takes time to do that. You're still going to fail, but
I think one of the best things will help people with that, like an action item that people can actually do, is get a planner and use that planner for those 30 days.
Yeah.
Make a plan the day before and then go through your day and check things off.
Yeah.
Checking things off is a physical and mental win right there. Like you are physically doing the action of check, I did that.
Yeah.
That is a dopamine hit, just like scrolling on Facebook and seeing some stupid funny reel. It's the same kind of thing in your brain. So get those little wins and go through that for the 30 days. That would probably really help people make it all the way to the end, because perseverance is hard. And the only way that you will build that perseverance is by acknowledging the wins along the way.
Yeah. That's good.
What's something that's taking longer in your life than you'd like, Nate?
It's taking longer in my life?
Yeah, like that's on God's timing, not yours. And you wish it would happen a little faster, maybe.
I feel ready to promote right now, but I gotta wait because God made the decision. I just followed, but God brought us back down here, and I gave up a promotion when I left where I previously was. Well, I didn't really give it up, but it was.
You just knew
it was on the table. Like
the
it
timeline.
was. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I basically started the clock over. I'm excited to eventually lead a crew, a company one day, but it's just not my time right now. So I'm just kind of enjoying the journey and the process right now.
How do you stay faithful and trusting God through that? Like you know that there's a time on this thing and you can't do anything about it. How do you stay faithful through this and not just get bitter and kind of frustrated with the leaders that are above you that maybe you feel more qualified than?
Yeah, and I want to be careful with that too. Like, I don't ever see myself as like the whole mightier than thou concept. I try really hard not to portray that. I carry myself rather confidently. So I know that there's a perception of me out there of like, oh, Nate, the way he carries himself, he can be whatever. You insert whatever. I've just been told that before. I try to always have a sense of humility. But to answer your question, with me waiting on this promotion and how do I like stay faithful during this season, I know I have like 22 years left to doing this job till I can retire. So I'm going to, that's a long time.
So what's the rush?
What's the rush?
Yeah.
Like younger Nate was in a rush. And where at my previous organization, I was in a rush to promote just to get less time being a fireman on the ambulance. The boo-boo box. I wanted to be on the fire truck all the time. And I did at the time. I had the attitude of, I can do a better job at leading a crew than that guy. I used to have that mentality years ago. But I quickly realized after the job humbled me a few times of like, no, you're not ready, dude. You're not as good as you think you are.
Yeah.
And you are not who you say you think you are, who you say you think, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're not as good as you are. And so, you need to just chill out and just accept your faults and get better at where you're at right now.
Well, nobody's perfect.
No.
Yeah.
But I had the mightier than thou attitude, which is why I do a really good job. Well, that's like counter to. I am very intentional. I try to do a better job at being extremely just humble in all things. Like
you try and be a better follower now.
A better follower, yeah, 100%.
I got you.
Yeah, you can go back and listen to that episode about leadership. So,
yeah,
yeah,
I like that. I mean, I understood what you were saying there. I think our listeners will too. That basically to summarize that, I would say like, just because there's a time on it and you feel like you're ready to promote right now, but there's a time that you have to wait.
Yeah.
You're going to make the most out of that time. You're going to say, well, I could still be even better. Like if I continue working hard and striving for it, I can be even better when my time comes
Yeah.
than if I got promoted today.
100%. Yeah.
I can be a better leader when that time comes if I stay humble,
Yeah.
be a good follower, be a good teammate. And when it comes time for me to lead, I'll be even better than I would have been had I gotten promoted today.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can honestly say if I had gotten promoted at the earliest that I could have gotten promoted, I was not ready.
Yeah.
I'm not. Like, I was not ready. Do I feel ready now? Yeah, but I also know it's going to humble me when I get in that seat because I've only spent a little bit of time in that position at my previous place informally as an actor. But yeah, I mean, that would just be one example of waiting. So there's many others, but that's one definitely talk about.
I love it. I wanted to bring up another Bible verse here that I was stewing on while we were talking about all this, and it's actually my wife's favorite verse. It's Isaiah 40:31, and it says, sorry, let me get the page to it. It says, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." So those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. That word hope there is the part that I really wanted to get hung up on, of like, hoping is not a passive act.
Mm-hmm.
Hoping is something that you have to actively do. And through perseverance and patience, you're able to get through those because you're hoping for what's next. You're hoping for that growth and that promotion or whatever it is. And that is not a passive thing that you just sit by and go, "Oh man, I really hope that happens." No, you're actively hoping and working towards that. And through that, God will renew your strength.
Yeah.
He gives strength to those who are actively seeking him and actively trying.
Mm-hmm.
When you just sit on the couch all day and munch on your Cheetos and hope that your life's going to change, ain't nothing going to change.
Still requires a little bit of action.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. And again, back to one of the original points in lieu of this verse too, everybody thinks that things are just going to go like that. And now all of a sudden you're, a stud at whatever.
Yeah.
I got news for you. That is not the case. And the elites in the physical world, they started somewhere. Some are just naturally gifted at certain things. We can't ignore that, but it's a
some
constant
of us are rock stars.
Renewing. You say some of us are?
Yeah.
No. Interesting. So yeah, it's a constant renewing. The Bible talks about just renewing of your mind, renewing of yourself through Him, and being able to have a sense of diligence in your day-to-day activities and walk and habits. Galatians chapter 6, verse 9, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." And 10's appropriate as read as well. "Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all people, especially to those who belong to the family of believers." Yeah, just you putting forth the effort now, and you putting forth the patient, we're going to call it patient effort. Effort now, you will eventually have an opportunity to reap a harvest.
At the proper time. I like that
Yeah.
part of that verse, how it said at the proper time. It's not your time. It's not my time.
Yeah.
It's God's time.
Yeah. 100%.
So, as we close this podcast out, I'd like to ask the listeners, look at the 3 pillars that Suffer Up stands for: spirit, mind, and body. Spirit, mental, physical. Look at those 3 things and identify one habit in each of those areas, one thing in each of those areas that you can persevere at, that you can be actively patient in, that you can know that you're growing but not expect that growth right now.
Yeah.
Where can you get 1% better in all those things? And for your spirit, it might be that you are going to pray every day, or you're going to read the Bible for 1 minute every day or 5 minutes. It doesn't really matter the time. It's just what consistent action are you going to take every day to persevere and become better? For your mind, maybe it's learning something new or reading a book or thinking more positive thoughts instead of negative thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
For your body, maybe it's going for a walk, a run, a lift, a stretch. It doesn't have to be something crazy difficult. It's just, what are you willing to consistently persevere at and trust the process, trust God's timing.
And just remind yourself that none of this happens overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day. And so you are also not sculpted and built in a day. Enjoy the refining process and just relish in God's goodness through the process, because the process is the journey. If you arrived on day one, you have no story. And so with all of that in mind, I was not made into the firefighter that I am today by just showing up to one structure fire. The ultra runner is not made on just on race day. And the same is true about being a follower of Christ. You're not made into as strong of a Christ follower when life is good, when life is easy. It's the ordinary days of building a relationship with Him when nobody's watching. That's when your faith really grows, as well as during the hard times and leaning into who Christ is each and every day. Consistent, faithful, repetitive actions are what will cause you to grow, and enjoy those moments, because there'll be times when you're going to get knocked down. There's going to be times when you're going to get knocked off your feet and you're going to be flat on your face. And do you have the discipline and the intentionality to get up off your face and reorganize yourself and move forward towards whatever objective or mission you have in front of you?
I love that. I think we can summarize this whole episode in 3 words: train, trust, and triumph.
Yeah, that's good.
3 T's.
I like that.
Train, you put in that unseen work. Put in the work. Trust God and the process and His timing, that even when the results are slow, that eventually you will triumph. The victory is not a finish line. The victory is becoming the person God designed you to be, fulfilling the purpose that God planned for your life.
Mm-hmm.
Train, trust, triumph.
And then repeat it again. And then train some more. And then trust some more.
And go back and do it again.
And back and do it again. So,
yeah, like Luke 9:23 says, take up your cross daily and follow me. This isn't a one-time deal. This is something that you have to do every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Train, trust, triumph daily.
Yeah.
And follow Christ.
That's it. Yeah, take time to really reflect on what God has for you, and take time to rejoice in those victories as well. And being able to really just, rejoicing is such an important part of that process, and that really ties in with triumph. So yeah, learn to be patient in the process, guys. Whatever you're facing, if we can help you at all, please reach out to us. You can reach us on the link in our link tree. There's an email there. You can also hit us up in the DMs, but we want to hear from you as well. And finding a way to be patient through the process and be patient in the growth that's happening. And I think that if you take time to slow down and just reflect on all the things that we're talking about, I think you've grown more than you probably have. And if you feel like, no, I haven't grown at all, well, now is a perfect day to start. So set the goals and accomplish whatever mission you have in front of you.
Yeah, and I just want to close this by saying thank you to our listeners for listening and for trusting us as a source of information. And we really do hope and pray that this benefits your life in every aspect, spiritual, mental, and physical. We want to inspire you guys and equip you to live a better life and get 1% better every day. So just want to say thank you guys.
That's it. Thanks, guys. Stay after it. If you need any help, call us. We love y'all. And as always,
Suffer up.